Our next guest, LeslieZRF Heidi, is the founder of In My Opinion, a board-certified procedural medicine and aesthetic dermatology practice right here in Miami, and I am a customer. We are so excited to have you on the show. Welcome, Leslie. Beauty doc.
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, we're thrilled to have you. So, Leslie, you are an aesthetic dermatology expert specializing in natural and conservative cosmetic medical treatments. But you say to not call you and your team the Botox ladies. So, let's talk a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So the biggest misconception when people go and get Botox is that they think it's like getting your hair colored. And you see all these degrees, it is not. We are actually board certified in procedural medicine, which means it is a subspecialty in dermatology. And what that means is you will get the best treatment when you see a provider that does this day in and day out, meaning their full scope of practice. We don't do laser hair removal. We don't do dentistry. I don't even remove moles. We just work on this.
You say retinol is cool, but Botox is better, and that the skin actually has a memory, and it'll remind you in 10 years how you're treating it now. So you recommend we're all on a skin schedule. You call it skin investments, which I love. Really wish I coined that. What would that schedule look like to somebody who doesn't really have one?
Absolutely. So that schedule looks like 4 times a year. Think spring, summer, fall, and winter. The biggest misconception is that we can also do Botox just once and kind of drop off the face of the earth. But we know that the more you do it, the better your skin responds, right? Your skin is kind of like foil. And if we let it crease, eventually we will make wrinkles. So the more we treat it, the less it creases. This is like an insurance policy for your skin. This is definitely a skin investment that you want to be making.
So, Leslie, we know that the aesthetic medicine is advancing, and from your professional opinion, what is on the horizon, and what would you say to our viewers? Like, what are some of the specific services that you offer?
Well, first and foremost, I want to get back to retinol. We often get asked, okay, should I be on a retinol? What skincare ingredient should I be on? Retinol is great, but your Botox will always be better. So let's remember that. If we are on Botox, we are on the right track. That's going to be the gold standard for your wrinkles, and it's never too soon to start.
That is really good advice. So all of your consultations and treatments begin with a custom consult. So after you receive your treatment as well, you will receive an in-office counseling by the medical provider who treated you. So let's talk about that, because I know that that's really different than what a lot of other people experience when they get treated by other professionals.
Absolutely. So this world is full of myths. So you're going to hear me refer back to the biggest misconception, the biggest misconception. So another misconception is that, for example, you come, Tracy, and you see me and you get your treatment plan. And then let's say Susie sees me. You guys exchange tips and you think that you should be receiving the same thing, but you shouldn't, because your facial expressions are different than Stitch's and they're different than Susie's. So it really needs to be a bespoke consultation. Your facial expressions need to be analyzed, because you may get angry, and I'm sure your husband knows this, in a different way than Susie does. And it's really important to analyze those little muscles and make sure that we can change the prescription dosing at the end of the day, make it super customized for you guys.
Is there anything that someone can do right now at home that's a good investment in their skin? If they're like, okay, just today, is there something that I can do? What would your recommendation be?
Absolutely. Schedule an appointment to see your nearest dermatology provider. Best thing.
Get it going. I know too, you're a big fan of sunscreen, and this is a weird thing. English people we're not crazy for sunscreen, right? Because we don't get very much sun, and when we get it, we want to milk every ray to the death. So I know that's also a tip that you give, right? Just sunscreen?
No. So we have to be using our sunscreen. It is the cheapest thing that we can do for anti-aging. Very important. Let's say you are unable to access these kinds of treatments. The bare minimum is always sunscreen, and that's a great starting place. And don't forget about the neck and the hands.
Ooh, ladies, are you sunscreen wearers, or is it someone?
Oh, yes.
No sun for me. No sun for me.
I'm afraid of Dr. Leslie, so I wear sunscreen now on my face.
Leslie, I really had a quick question if we have time for it. Because a lot of us are home now, not everyone, but a lot of us are home now, and we're finding out that we do need to have a regimen to take care of our skin. And growing up, I actually had eczema. So I was allergic to a lot of different things. What would you say to maybe someone watching as far as trying to find a face regimen, or trying to, because we know with our hands and with our our bodies, it's different from our face. What would you say to them watching?
Okay, well, product elimination is very important. Right now, we have market saturation with a ton of items that are being sold to us and branded to us, and we have to make sure that we're singling out ingredients when something is irritating us. So it's very important to do one thing at a time when something is irritating you. And when you have a true allergic reaction, it means wherever you put it, you should get that rash, right? A rash doesn't say, oh, I'm going to show up here, but not there. So that's what we want to pay attention to. Could it be our detergent? Could it be our skincare? Could it be a food that we're eating? So we definitely maybe want to keep a diary or spot treat or single out ingredients.
That's good. Thank you.
I will say that I've noticed like some mask. Have you noticed this with the
Maskne.
Yeah, is maskne real?
It is definitely real. And particularly now that we have all these fancy masks, means we're reusing them and we should be washing them. But when we are washing them, we're also adding detergent and fabric softeners, and that can be very irritating to the skin as well.
Ooh, good to know. Thank you, Dr. Leslie, so much for being with us. All these amazing tips.
Coming up next, business alignment coach Emily Ahrens is here. So she helps entrepreneurs use their intuition to grow their businesses. She is bringing the magic to us after the break. But first, we are at the table with Tommy Vincent.